Hello friends, welcome back to my YouTube channel, The Zone of Anatomy, and today we are going to discuss about the nervous system. In the part 1, we are basically focused on the type of or the division of the nervous system. In part 2, we are looking for just a brain, the division of brain and its function. So let's proceed with the part 1. So, what is the nervous system? When we come to the definition, nervous system, it is a system that regulates the various activity of the body through nerves. As the name suggests, nervous system, nervous indicates the system of the nerves. So, this system is one of the fastest system of our body when compared to the endocrine system or any other system. In this chapter, we are seeing nervous system and endocrine system, how they work parallel to each other. But when we compare both of them, the nervous system is one of the fastest rate system of the human body, because nervous system controls coordinations and the various activities. Coming to the nervous system development or the embryological development, it developed from an ectoderm. It might come in the MCQ. This MCQ maybe come in your embryology, or maybe it was frequently asked in the physiology also. So I have put this point over here. Then it's for what our nervous system is concerning. It is concerned with controlling, regulating, balancing or posture, tone of our body, communicating system, or the communication skills in the body is controlled by nervous system only. As I have already said that nervous system and the endocrine system work hand in hand. So with endocrine system, it maintains the homeostasis and not with any other system of the body. So here another MCQ which might come will be that with endocrine system, the nervous system and the endocrine system together maintains homeostasis. Coming to the rate, as we have already mentioned, that the nervous system is faster or quicker than the endocrine system, and it is the most of the highly complex system of the human body, because it consists of many nerves. Like we have a cranial nerve, we have a spinal nerve, we have many mixed nerve, motor nerve. So that all things. When we come to the division of the nervous system, since we have said that it is a very complex or highly organized system of the body, so obviously it must have some division. So it has a two division, that is central nervous system and the peripheral nervous system. Coming to its division, nervous system is broadly classified into central nervous system and the peripheral nervous system. When we talk about central nervous system, the central nervous system only contain our brain and the spinal cord, and the peripheral nervous system is concerned with autonomic nervous system and the somatic nervous system. Somatic nervous system is concerned with voluntary movements. Autonomic system is further classified into two more parts, that is sympathetic and parasympathetic. The thing which we already know is that the sympathetic system activates in the emergencies, and parasympathetic autonervous system activate during the relaxed state. One more system there is like enteric nervous system. So autonomic nervous system and the enteric nervous system. Enteric nervous system is present in our intestines, okay, in our stomach. So autonomic nervous system and the enteric nervous system is involuntary, whereas somatic nervous system is voluntary. Coming to the central nervous system, now when we see what this central nervous system is all about. So central nervous system includes brain and spinal cord. It basically integrates nervous information, or it correlates. So we say correlation and integration of nervous information occurs in central nervous system. Now, since brain and spinal cord are one of the major part of our body. So they must be protected. They must have some heart protection, and that was done by a meninges. Meninges is basically a covering around the brain and the spinal cord, and it was covered, and all the brain and the spinal cord is covered by bones also. When we talk about concern with the bones, the brain is covered by a cranial box, and the cranial box consists of approximately 6 bones. What are that 6 bones? We can revise quickly. One is frontal, two parietal, two temporal, and one occipital. Then coming to the interior to the central nervous system, when we talk about gray matter and white matter, we only say that the central nervous system is concerned with something gray and the white matter. Now, what is this gray and the white matter? So, gray matter means where there is the cell present, nerve cells are embedded. So, it is known as the gray matter. And what is the white matter? Where there is the nerve fiber. So, here you can see this white part has a nerve fibers in it, and the gray matter has the cells. Now here it is a point that is central nervous system concerned with neurons and neuroglia cells. What are neurons and neuroglia cells? These both are two different things. First of all, neurons. Basically, the neurons is structural and functional unit of nervous system. It helps in the formation of synapses. It has the axon, and the neurons is mainly concerned with the transmission, and it receives and transmits the nerve impulses. Whereas the neuroglial cells is do not have the axons. They provide a mechanical and structural support to the neurons. So they do not help in the formation of a system. It's neuroglia do not help in the formation of synapses, whereas neurons can help. So these are the basic difference between neurons and neuroglia. So we are talking here about neuroglia, that are the supporting cells of the neurons. So white matter consists of the nerve fibers, and the gray matter consists of basically the nerve cells. Therefore, it is gray in color. When we talk about brain and the white, so in in brain, the white matter is placed inside. See here, the inside part is all white matter, and the outside part is a gray matter. Whereas when we concern about the spinal cord, the white matter is all through outside, and the gray matter is all in the inner side. So there is a vice versa going in spinal cord and the brain. The things which are marked MCQs is basically randomly asked in your vivas. So do not forget these things. It is very basic and everyone needs to know. When we come about the development of brain and spinal cord, again it is developed from a neural tube, and that develops from our ectoderm after the gastrula stage of embryo. This point is concerned with your embryology, with the weak developments. When we study, we come to know about this also. But here, the main thing which you need to remember is that brain and spinal cords are derived from the neural tube, and neural tube is a derivative of ectoderm after the neural tube is formed after our gastrula state. Coming to when we say the new spinal cord in the brain is developed from the neural tube, so the brain is developed from our anterior part of the neural tube, whereas the neural tube has one caudal part. So from the caudal part, the spinal cord is derived. So these can also come in the MCQ point of view. The brain is development of brain is achieved by 6 years of age mainly, and the spinal cord develops approx 4 to 5 years of age. Coming to the functions of the central nervous system, it basically sends signals from one cell to the another, and whatever the feedback it comes, it produces the action. The Whenever the central nervous system or any other thing, or like any nerves get damages, so If the nerve get damages, the disorder which we concern is diabetic neuropathy, which we have already seen in our lecture of the diabetic ketoacidosis and the diabetes. I'll put the link in the description box. If you want to read, you can read over there also. And the another is multiple sclerosis. What is this multiple sclerosis all about? It is the demyelinating diseases that if if it is disrupted or it is disrupted the ability of the central nervous system, so it do not transmit the signals. So that is the main basic things which you need to learn about this central nervous system. It is just a core thing. Just remember these points. Coming to the peripheral nervous system, peripheral nervous system, all the nerves arising from the brain is known as the cranial nerves, and that from the spinal cord is known as the spinal nerves, are a part of peripheral nervous system. Peripheral nervous system is concerned about the nerves. So what's the function of these nerves? They are basically the connecting link between the central nervous system and other parts of the body. How they are concerned, we'll see in our upcoming lectures in a broad way. Then peripheral nervous system, as we have already seen in the previous slide, it is again divided into two parts: somatic nervous system and the autonomic nervous system. Somatic nervous system is concerned with our conscious activity, and the autonomic nervous system is concerned with our unconscious activity. We say somatic is a voluntary movement. So that's coming to the cranial nerve. The total number of cranial nerves in a human body is 12 pairs, and their names are written over here. So the main MCQ point which you need to learn about the cranial nerves are mentioned in the table, like sensory cranial nerves. So what are the so the sensory cranial nerve is 1, 2, and 8. The motor nerve is 3, 4, 6, 9, and 12. And the mixed means both sensory as well as the motor nerve. So the mix can be 5, 7, 9, and 10. So this like you need to just remember these things. It comes in a direct MCQs. For then we come to the fibers of autonomic nervous system are found in third, seventh, ninth, and 10th cranial nerves. And now the most important MCQs which were asked is whether it is in neural anatomy or in neurophysiology. The longest cranial nerve is 10th, that is vagus nerve. Largest cranial nerve, that is fifth, trigeminal nerve. And last is smallest cranial nerve, that is abducens cranial nerve. Here I have mentioned all the names of the cranial nerves. That is first is olfactory, that is sensory nerve. Then we have optic nerve, that is also sensory nerve. Then we have an oculomotor nerve, that is motor nerve. Then we have trochlear nerve, that is also motor nerve. Trigeminal nerve, it is the largest nerve and the mixed nerve. Abducens nerve, it is the smallest and it is also and um, it is a motor nerve. Then we come to the facial nerve, that is seventh cranial nerve. It is also a mixed nerve. Coming to the vestibular nerve, that is our eighth cranial nerve. It is a sensory nerve. Then we come to ninth cranial nerve, that is glossopharyngeal nerve. So the glossopharyngeal nerve is our mixed nerve. Then we have our vagus nerve, which is the longest cranial nerve, and it is also a mixed nerve. Accessory nerve, that is our 11th cranial nerve, and it is our motor nerve. And last and final, we have a 12th cranial nerve, that is an hypoglossal nerve, and it is also a motor nerve. So just remember what are the motor nerves, what are sensory nerves, what are mixed nerve, their names. These cranial nerves you need to learn on your tips. Random question can be asked on these cranial nerves. The spinal nerves, the total number of spinal nerves you need to remember, that is 31 pairs. How? Like we already have studied the vertebral column, the divisions of vertebral column, like the cervical, thoracic, lumbosacral, coccyx. For that, we have another video. I'll put the link in the description box, so you can see over there. So when we come to the spinal nerves are 31 in pairs, and 8 is cervical. Then we have 12 thoracic, 5 lumbar, 5 sacral, 1 coccygeal. So as I've already said that we have discussed this part in our cervical vertebrae lecture. So just go and visit over there if you need to learn betterly. It is just a review. So that's the end of this lecture. This is just a review lecture so that we can start our nervous system betterly. To understand the nervous system, there are tracts and there are nucleuses, ganglia, gyri, sulci. To understand them all, we just need to know what this central nervous system and peripheral nervous system is all about. So I have decided to make the small video. It's just a quick revision of your basic knowledge, and whatever points I have put it's just just from the MCQ point of view that might come in your examination as a one liner. So just read the slides or go through this lecture and you'll just clear all the basic concept very easily. So guys, if you like the content of my um, lecture, just hit the like button, share as much as you can, and yes, obviously subscribe. So that's all from my side today. Thanks for your support. We'll meet in the next lecture. That's the brain. Till then, take care. Bye.